This is our 7th session. Welcome to everyone here. Please do indicate on the chat if you would like to ask Swamiji any questions during the last half hour of this session. The next topic for our study with Swamiji is Aikyamatiya Suktam. This is the last Suktam in the Rig Veda and consists of 4 shlokas. This is a very famous Suktam. Swamiji, as always, we are looking forward to this study session also. We will begin our class now with Yogacharya Swami Venudas ji chanting Shiva Sankalpa Suktam. Namaste. Venudas ji.
Namaste. Yajjāgrato dūramudaiti daivaṃ tadu suptasya tathaivaiti dūraṅgamaṃ jyotiṣāṃ jyotirekaṃ tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu yena karmāṇyapaso manīṣiṇo yajñe kṛṇvanti vidatheṣu dhīrāḥ yadapūrvaṃ yakṣamantaḥ yadapūrvaṃ yakṣamantaḥ prajānāṃ tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu yatprajñānamuta ceto dhritischa yajjyotirandaraṃ prajasu yasmānna'ṛte kinchana karma kriyate tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu yenedam bhutam bhuvanam bhavishyat parigrihitamamritena sarvam yena yajñastāyate saptahota tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu yasmin rajasāmayajumshi yasmin pratitishthata pradhanabhavivāraः yasmin chittam sarvamodam prajānāṃ tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu susharadhirashvaniva yanmanushya neniyate bhishubhirvāchinaiva hritpratishtham yadajiram javishtham tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu. Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Oh. So we are going to discuss the 6th, that is the last mantra And so far we have seen all the 5 mantras. There's only one single prayer repeated in all the mantras, and that is me manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu. Let my mind be filled with auspicious thoughts. May my mind be pure. This is the one prayer. And when our mind is pure, all our actions will naturally be pure. And a pure mind is most essential for discrimination and contemplation. So both in the path of karma and in the jnana vichara, most essential thing we have to have is pure mind. And it is prayed for here. In the last mantra, we have seen 2 dimensions. 2 dimensions of the mind. That is in the macrocosmic and in the microcosmic level. In the first, it would mean Ishvara, and in the second sense, it would mean Jiva. And in this mind, all the Vedas, that is Richaha, Sama, Yajumshi, all the Vedas are pradisthitaha, well established. So in both ways, that is in the macrocosmic level, it would mean Ishvara. So in that Ishvara, all these Vedas are well established. And in the individual level, it would mean all the Vedas are in our mind. So the mind is the very, very base or the very substratum of all the Vedas. And let it be pure and filled with auspicious thoughts. And today we can go to the 6th mantra. It says, Susharadhirashvani vayan manushyan neniyate bhishubhirvajinaiva kṛṇvanti yadajiram javishtham tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu. Susharadhirashvan ivayan manushyan neniyate bhishubhirvajinaiva kṛṇvanti yadajiram javishtham tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu. Let us first see how to break the words. Susharadhihi, Ashwan. Susharadhihi, Ashwan, Iva, Yad, Manushyan, Neniyate, Abhishubhihi, vājinaha iva hrit pradishtham yad ajiram jyavishtham tad me manaḥ śivasaṅkalpam astu. Susharadhi. Saradhi is a charioteer, and when it is prefixed with su, the meaning would be best charioteer. Best charioteer. Susharadhi. Ashwan, horses. Iva means as if. Yad, that. Manushyan, men. Neniyate. Neniyate. Niyate means leading. Leading. Making move. Niyate. Neniyate means leading in the best way. Brisham niyate. That is leading in the best way. Abhishu bihi. Abhishu. Abhishu is that which with which we are controlling. So it would mean reins. Or we can translate as command. In both ways we can take. Either as reins in the hands of the charioteer or commands given by the charioteer. Abhishuhu. So by abhishuhu, that is abhishubihi. Vājinaha iva. Vaji is horse. Vājinaha, horses. Iva, again as if. Hrit pradishtham. Hrit pradishtham. That which is well established or well seated in the heart. Hrit pradishtham. Yad, that. Ajiram, devoid of old age. Without old age. Ajiram. Jyavishtham. Jyavishtham is fastest. Fastest. Tad manaḥ, that may, my, manaḥ, mind, śivasaṅkalpamastu. Śivasaṅkalpam astu, let it be śivasaṅkalpam. That means let it be filled with auspicious thoughts, or let it be pure. So what is prayed for here? Susharadhi rashwan ivayan manushyan neniyade abhishubihi vājina iva. A best charioteer who is well trained, expert in controlling or riding horses. So a charioteer who is an expert in riding horses is a Susharadhi. When Susharadhi is riding the horses, they will be perfectly under his control. So he will be controlling the horses perfectly. That is when we are calling him Susharadhi. Otherwise, Saradhi is an ordinary charioteer. He is an ordinary charioteer. Whereas Susharadhi is the best charioteer. So always the horses will be under his control. He'll be controlling always. So such a charioteer, Susharadihi, how he is controlling? How he is leading? Nāṛte, leading. Not simply controlling. When we say he is controlling horses, it never means he is riding the chariot. No. Because horses can be controlled at a certain place to graze. Or in other ways also he can control them. But here the word used is nāṛte, is leading. It is not simply nīyate, it is nāṛte. The difference is brisam nīyate, that is leading in the best way. Leading horses in the best possible way. That is nāṛte. How he is doing that? With the help of abhishu. With the help of abhishu. Abhishu is with which he is controlling. Ishanam means controlling. Abhishu, that which with he is controlling. There is the reins in the hands of the charioteer. With the help of reins, he is controlling the horses. Or we can say like this, with commands, proper commands, he is controlling. So abhishu means either reins or commands. So with that, he is leading these horses in the best possible way. So how it is happening? In the same way, yada manuṣyaṇ that which is leading all human beings. What is leading human beings? Manuṣyaṇ. Of course it is the mind. We are talking, we are walking, we are seeing, we are doing everything as per the control of the mind. How mind is working behind, so these limbs are working outside. All the limbs, whether it is senses of cognition or organs of action, they are working or they are moving as per the commands of the mind. So just like a well-trained or an expert charioteer is leading or riding his horses. So this mind is controlling and leading all the limbs and thereby human beings. So mind is leading us. How our mind is, so will be our words and deeds. All the deeds and all the words. They are coming out from the mind. In the Upanishad, it is said our words are like patni or wife of the mind. Mano hyatma vāgjāya. Such a shruti is there. So mano hyatma, mind is the person, and vāgjāya, and vāk, word, is the Jaya, wife. This Shruti is applicable not for this word alone. It is applicable for all the limbs. Because our hands or our legs or our ears or our eyes, all these are working as per the instruction or under the control of the mind. So mind is making them work. And how our limbs are working, so is our activity. So mind is leading all the human beings. So mind is leading man. It is sitting behind. It is not manifest, but sitting behind, it is making all the activities. It is making a human being move. So here it is said, just like best charioteer leading or riding horses in the best possible way, that is nāṇiyate, with the help of reins, in the same way, that mind or that which is leading all men in all the ways, the path of dharma and the path of adharma, in all the ways, mind is making us move. So that mind, which is hrit-pradishtham, hrit-pradishtham is well established in the heart. Well established in the heart. We have seen in an earlier mantra that mind is the I think you are hearing well, because this day after tomorrow here this election to the panchayat seats are going to happen, and so much noise they are making to get votes. So hrit-pradishtham. Where is our mind in this body? It is spread all over the body. It is said apadatala mastaka vritti. From the top of our mastaka to the bottom of our pada. It is spread everywhere. Mind is spread everywhere. It is not localized. Still, Acharyas teaches us to meditate the position of the mind in the heart. The mind is residing in the heart. So meditate the mind in your heart. So Acharyas teaches. So hrit-pradishtham, even though it is spread all over the body, we are conceiving the position as it is staying in the heart. So hrit-pradishtham, that which is well established in the heart, that mind, and yadjāgrato, that which is above old age. Jiram or jaram is vayohani, jr vayohani. Vayohani is the old age. And ajiram is without old age. That is to differentiate the mind from the physical body. Physical body is not ajiram. It is not ajiram. Whereas the mind, which is spread all over the physical body, is ajiram. The activities or the vrittis, how they are coming and going, of course it will change. When I was a small child, and when I am a young man, or when I am an old man, all these times the functioning pattern, it may change. There will be much differences in the mode of working, but still mind is one and the same. And the same mind, with all its samskaras inscripted, it will leave this body and enter the next. So the mind is not affected by old age. It is ajiram. And again it is said javishtam. Javishtam is fastest, the fastest. In the first mantra we have seen yajjāgrato dūramudaiti, that which is going to far off places when we are in the waking state. So it is moving here and there, all over the world. Within a second, our mind can go to the other part of the globe, and within a second it can come back. That is the speed of the mind. We can imagine that much is the speed of the mind. So it is javishtam, it is the fastest. That mind, tadu manaḥ, śivasaṅkalpamastu. Let it be pure, let it be filled with auspicious thoughts. When it is filled with auspicious thought, it's all the activities will be auspicious, and it will become pure and clean. So this is prayed for here. This is the first meaning. Let us see once more. That is, just like a good charioteer is leading his horses in the best possible way with the help of reins or with the help of commands. In the same way, the mind is leading all men in this life. How mind is leading, so this life will be. So will be the activities of all our limbs. And that mind which is residing in the heart, residing there, it is moving fast. It is the fastest. So javishtam. And it is devoid of old age, or it is not affected by old age. That mind, let it be pure and be filled with auspicious thoughts. That is the first meaning. Now we can take the second meaning, that is, instead of taking manas as the mantra devata, we can take atma as the mantra devata. That aspect also we have seen in all the last 5 mantras. Even though acharyas like Mahidhara, Uvada, and Sayana, such great acharyas, have taken this mantra devatas, the mind. Mano devatyaha. Mind is the devata here. Devata for a mantra is the subject matter. Explained in one mantra is the mantra devata. Or that aspect which is praised in a mantra is, or through a mantra is the mantra devata. That aspect which is explained in a mantra is also a mantra devata. So mantra devata of this sukta is manas. But even then, we can take the mantra devata as the atma. Instead of taking the manas, mind, we can take atma, the self. And then the meaning will be that atma, that self, which is leading all men, all beings, all human beings, just like a best charioteer is leading his horses with the help of the reins. So with the help of reins, a charioteer is leading all the horses. And in the same way, the Atman, the self, it is making us move. It is behind all the activities. And that Atman is Hrit Pradishtham, is well established within the heart. Hridaye hi Atma. He, verily, Atma is residing in the heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. O Arjuna, Ishvara is residing in the heart of all beings. Hrit Pradishtham. And the meaning of Hrit is not the physical organ which is pumping blood in this body. No. Hridayam or Hrit is something higher than that. Even though we are perceiving heart through this organ, the heart meant here is something higher than that. And what is the meaning? See, I am always saying this I. Everybody in this world are repeating daily the word I or me. Who is this? Where am I? Who am I? When this inquiry, this quest is undertaken, we will first conceive this body. We will take it as me. Then we will negate it. No, this is my body. This is my body. I am not this. I am experiencing this body. I am the master of this body. I am working through this body. And so I am not this body. So in the same way, we are negating the mind. We are negating the intellect. We are negating all the senses of knowledge, and we are negating all the organs of action. And when we are negating all these limbs, we are going more and more deeper into my own individuality. And then we will realize from the deepest corners of my individuality, that I-ness is shining. It is shining. I cannot say from where, but transcending this body, these senses, the mind, the intellect, transcending all these, I am realizing from an inner point, this I-ness is shining. I am here, I am here. And that spot is called Hrit. So it is the inner core of our individuality. It is the seat of our individuality. So in that Hrit, the Atman is well established. So it is said Hrit Pradishtham. And at the Ajiram, this body and all the limbs in this body, as they are born, will of course meet old age and will have death. It's a natural law. That rule we cannot transcend. We cannot negate that. It is there. But I am the master of this. And I am above this. I am above this. And I am above all the changes which is happening in this body. When I was a child and a young man, all these ages, all the stages through which I passed, I was and I am and I will be changeless. So that changeless self, immutable, is the yadājiram, that devoid of old age, not affected by old age. So Hrit Pradishtham, Ajiram, Javishtham, that which is the fastest. We have seen how the mind is the fastest one. It is moving everywhere. I cannot even imagine the speed of the mind. But when the mind is reaching an object, even before the arrival of the mind, I am there, making it shine. So it is said in the Upanishad, pūrvamarshat. There is a mantra in the Ishavasya Upanishad, pūrvamarshat. Even before the arrival of the mind, I am there. I am reaching and I am shining. And I am enshining. And because I am making it shine, I am realizing that this is that object. This is this object. So, the mind is faster, whereas I am the fastest. From another angle, I am not at all moving. I am the immovable self. I am not moving because I am all-pervading. An all-pervading entity cannot move. So I am not moving. And from another angle, I am the fastest. Because if the mind is moving, I am making the mind move. I am giving that capacity to the mind. Because of me, that mind is moving. That is why it is said, Purvam Arshad, reached before. Purvam Arshad means reached before. Before what? Before the reaching of the mind. So it is the fastest. I am the fastest. So Javishtham. So Hritpradishtham, Ajiram, Javishtham, Yadu, that self, that Atman, which is making all these men move, all the human beings move in this life. Just like a Susharadhi, a best charioteer leading his horses. That Atman, let it make my mind pure and filled with auspicious thoughts. So this is the prayer. So in these two senses, that is, as to mean the mind and next to mean the Atman, we can understand this mantra. So this is the Shivasamkalpa Suktam. This is a part of Shukla Yajurvedam. We have seen this mantra from a distance. If we want to study still more deeper, we have to take some bhashyas, like that of Uvadacharya or Mahidharacharya. We have to learn word by word with the help of these bhashyas. But however, we have seen this sukta in detail, and now whatever doubt you have, you can ask. But before that, we can chant this or read these 6 mantras. Yajjāgrato dūramudaiti daivaṃ, tadu suptasya tathaivaiti, dūraṅgamaṃ jyotiṣāṃ jyotirekaṃ, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu, yena karmāṇyapaso manīṣiṇo, yajñe kṛṇvanti vidatheṣu dhīrāḥ, yadapūrvaṃ yakṣamantaḥ prajānāṃ, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu, yatprajñānamuta cheto dhritischa, yajyotirantaraṃ prajāsu, yasmānna'ṛte kinchana karma kriyate, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu, yenedam bhutam bhuvanam bhavishyad, parigrihitam amrtena sarvam, yena yajñastāyate saptahota, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu, yasmin rajasāma yajumshi yasmin, pratisthita rathana-bhavivāraha, yasmin chittam sarvamotam prajānāṃ, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu, susharadhirashvāni vayan manushyan, neniyate bhīshubhirvājinaiva, hritpradishtham yadajiram javishtham, tanme manaḥ śivasaṅkalpamastu. We can chant this sukta daily and as a part of our daily chantings and other upasanas, we can make this also. It is not for any other benefit. It is only for making our own mind pure and clean, filled with auspicious thoughts. When our mind is pure, our whole individuality will be clear, will be pure. and we will become most auspicious beings. When that is happening, the waves around us, the words and deeds, those are coming out from us, will all be auspicious. And that is the way, that is the only way to influence others also, to reach our own goal. That is one aspect, and influence others in the path of dharma. For both these, our individuality must be pure. It must have power. Really, that power will come from purity alone. With weapons or with physical strength, of course, physical strength is required. But all these are yes, they are required. We want weapons, we want physical power, we want money, wealth, everything to influence. But that which is influencing, that which is touching the heart, is the purity within our own self. So we must have that within. Work for that and pray for that. So this is the message this sukta is giving. Now we can go to question and answer session. Whatever doubts or questions you have, you can ask. If I know, I'll reply. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Today's first question is from Sri Yogacharya Sri Venudasji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
Swamiji, we are taught all the body limbs are sacred and belongs to Ishvara. But in our day-to-day life, in a transactional plane, we rather consider the right leg and right hand as auspicious and sacred. And in all deeds that we consider the right one as preferred, and somehow the left one is avoided in many occasions. I would like to be blessed by your explanation. What is the rationality and the Shastra behind this, Swamiji? Namaste.
To be frank, I cannot reply this. I do not know this. Because in our normal life it is true, but for a man or for a woman or for a transgender or transsexual, whatever it be, if they are using their left hands, by their inner structure itself, we will have to see the roots of that. It will be in the nervous system, in the anatomy itself. It is not a simple habitual thing. So for them or to them, we cannot say this is not auspicious. Using your left hand is not auspicious. You must use your right. We cannot say that. So when we are talking with them, we must say this is the auspicious thing. There is nothing wrong in this. But in the common world, always we are using the right hands for auspicious things. For example, in yagas and yajñas, we are offering with the right hands. But at the same time, we are not considering left as inauspicious. No. Because all auspiciousness in this body, or all purity in this body, not in the mind I am saying, in this body, is because of cleansing. How we are cleaning this body. And for cleaning this body, major share is done by the left hand, not by the right. So it is helping this body to be pure and clean. So that is the most auspicious thing. So we cannot say this is not auspicious. But however, in all the rituals, we are using the right hand. And food we are taking with the right hand. And all auspicious things we are doing with the right hands. It is true. But we cannot say there is some inauspiciousness in the left. But how it is, I don't know. I cannot explain that. And in the biblical concept, right is considered divine and left not demonic, but something connected with hell. So that is why we are saying right wing, left wing, and all these things. Left wing is considered fit for reaching hell, and right wing fit for reaching heaven. How it is, I don't know. Because it is connected with the day of judgment. And on the day of judgment, God will sit. And all the jivas who have that right to reach heaven will sit on the right side of God. And those who have to go to hell will sit at the left side. So this is day after tomorrow. Here panchayat elections are there. And the leftist group, they are leading us to hell. And those who are voting the leftist, where they will reach. I am not saying this. I do not know. Because I am considering both as same. Both are auspicious. Right and left, both are auspicious. But see, in the days after French Revolution, the emperor invited all the labor leaders. So they came. Before their arrival, all the loads reached. So they were given seats on the right side of the emperor. No seats were vacant. And all the seats in the left side were empty. So naturally, when the leaders of the Labour Party came, they sat there. So it was a pre-plan. So somehow it happened. And after that, in this world, this left-right division, differentiation came. And their roots we can see in the Bible itself. I don't know how it is. I cannot explain how it is. But I have heard this. And it is a common practice, but we cannot make it a rule. Because when we are transacting with those using left hands, we cannot say it is inauspicious. Because they are made so physiologically, not because of their habits. It is not because of their habits alone. Their body, it is made so. So we cannot give them a feeling within, this is not right. So left is right for them. As right is right for we people, left is right for them. So how it happened, I don't know. But let me repeat again, in all the yajñas, we are offering havi with the right hand. Namaste.
Namaste.
Next question is from Punyashree ji. Please unmute and start your video and ask question.
Swamiji, namaste.
Namaste.
Swamiji, can you please elaborate Balad Akrishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati?
See, there was a king. His name was Suratha. He was a most powerful king. He considered all the prajas alike. And once another king with all his mighty force attacked this kingdom, and there was a fierce battle. And Suratha was defeated. So the other king became the king. Usually, in a battle, the king who is defeated will be killed. That is the common practice in the battle. But somehow, the other king, he didn't kill Suratha. Instead of killing, he made him an officer in charge of a village. So king becoming a village officer, you just imagine. So he lived. And then the Suratha realized, my wives are not loving me, my children are not loving and obeying. They were obeying me when I was a king, but not now. And those who are serving me are not serving me as in the earlier days. So somehow a detachment or dispassion came, and with that dispassion or that feeling of detachment, the Suratha, he went to the forest without asking anybody. He left his home, left his family, renounced everything, and taking a vow to live in the forest, he went to the forest. So the Suratha was in the forest. But when he reached the forest, see, he came there after renouncing everybody. After renouncing the family, he reached the forest. But when he reached the forest, his mind was in the home. What my wives are doing there, what my children are doing. are the horses or the elephant living there? Are they getting proper care? How is the wealth and the money? All these thoughts came. See, after renouncing everything. And then he was much disturbed within. And the Suradha was walking through the forest way, and he saw a man sitting on the side of the pathway. And the Suradha asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am Samadhi. My name is Samadhi." "Why you are sitting in the forest?" "See, I was a businessman, a rich businessman. When I was that much rich, all the family members loved me. They were carrying me. And when I became old, they kicked me out of the home." See, in a way, he was more fortunate than the king, because king renounced the home, but this man was kicked out of the home. So he was helped by the wives to get out of the home, because he was kicked out. And so he came to the forest. "Then why you are sitting here sad? You are seeming sad." Then the Samadhi said, "That is the thing. My mind is filled with the thoughts of my family. I am thinking about my wife, my children, and my family." See, he was kicked out of the family. He was forced to get out. And he renounced. But still this fellow was thinking about them. Then they became friends. And they discussed about their own positions. And they decided to meet some wise men. So they heard there was a great scholar, a man of wisdom, a Maharshi, whose name is Sumedha. That was the name of that Maharshi. So they went to the ashram of that Maharshi, and they narrated their own experience. And after hearing that, the Maharshi, he said, "All these are plays of Mahamaya. All these are the plays of Mahamaya. See, both of you have renounced your home, your family, and you came to forest, but your mind is not. It is revolving round there. It is still living there. This is the play of Mahamaya." So while teaching that, the part of shloka which you asked to explain came. That is Jnānināmapi chetāmsi Devi Bhagavati hi sa Balādakrishya mohāya Mahamaya prayachati. Jnānināmapi chetāmsi Devi Bhagavati hi sa Balādakrishya mohāya Mahamaya prayachati. That means Jnānināmapi chetāmsi sa Devi Bhagavati Balādakrishya mohāya prayachati. Sa Mahamaya Devi Bhagavati. That Devi Bhagavati. Who is that Devi Bhagavati? She is Mahamaya. She is Mahamaya. That Mahamaya Devi Bhagavati, Jnaninam api chetamsi. Chetamsi is the intellect. Even the intellects of, even the buddhi of great scholars, yes, they are scholars, adepts in Vedic lore. They can explain or teach Veda, take classes on Vedanta. So they are great scholars, jnani. Even their intellect. Jnaninam api chetamsi. Sa Devi Bhagavati, that Devi Bhagavati Mahamaya, balad akrishya. She is attracting, akrishya, attracting with all power. That Mahamaya is attracting the mind and intellect of great scholars, even the great scholars. And what she is doing? Mohaya maya Mahamaya prayachati. Prayachati. Prayachati means giving. Here pushing. Here pushing that mind and intellect for what? Mohaya, delusion. That is even the intellect of wise men, even the intellect of scholars are get deluded. That is the activity of Mahamaya. It is said in the Maya Panchagam, Shruti Shata Nigamanta Shodhaganapyahaha dhanadi nidarshanena sadhya kalushayati chadushpadadya bhinnan aghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. Shruti Shata Nigamanta Shodhagan. Those who are editing, those who are commenting on Vedas and Vedantas, Nigamandan, Vedantan. Not a single mantra they are commenting. They are explaining hundreds of thousands of Veda mantras. So they are great scholars. Even them. Dhanadi nidarshanena. Showing money, wealth, etc. This Maya is making them creatures like four-legged creatures, four-legged beings, making them non-different from four-legged creatures. That means without wisdom, without knowledge, without discrimination. They are doing all sorts of activities for money and wealth, just like four-legged creatures, by showing wealth and money. This is the play of the Mahamaya. So this is the net of Mahamaya. How to be above that? How to overcome that? For that, the plays of Mahamaya are explained in the Markandeya Purana. And that is known as Devi Mahatmyam. It is also known as Durga Saptashati. As there are 700 mantras within that, it is called Durga Saptashati. Many may think there are 700 verses in that. No, there are no 700 verses. We are taking sentences like Devi Uvacha, Rishi Uvacha, such sentences as one mantra, and in aggregate there are 700 mantras. So that which have 700 mantras within is called Saptashati, Durga Saptashati or Devi Mahatmya. The place of Mahamaya are explained there. So by worshipping Mahamaya, you can be above that Mahamaya. You can overcome that place. Because when you realize the real nature of Mahamaya, you will not be under its net. That is the darshana there. So that is the shloka. Jnaninam api chetamsi devi bhagavati hisa balad akrishya, attracting forcefully, forcefully. Mahamaya, that Mahamaya, mohaya prayachati, for delusion. Mohaya means for delusion. Prayachati, pushing. So pushing those wise men to a field of delusion. That is the activity of Mahamaya. That is the meaning. Namaste.
Next question is from Dr. Kamalaji. Please unmute and ask. You are muted. Yeah, no, okay.
Namaste, Swamiji. My question is, in Upadeshasara, Bhagavan says, Atma Samstida, Atma Darshanam, Atma Nirdvayat, Atma Nishtada. So, Atma Samstida and Atma Nishtada, is it the two words, whether their meaning is the same? And can we connect that with the Hit Pradishtida in this thing also the same? I want Swamiji to explain that.
Of course. In the Upadeshasaram, it begins from the standpoint of a sadhaka. And it is said, Atma Samsthiti Swatma Darshanam. Being in the self, Atma Samsthiti, being in the self is the real darshana, Atma Darshana. It is the darshana. And what it is? It is Asmanishthada. It is well established in the self. So being in the self, that is that. So that is the real position of the man of realization. So from the standpoint of a sadhaka, it is started, and slowly through many sadhanas like uttamastava, chittajam japa, dhyanam, vicharam. So many sadhanas are explained there. And through such sadhanas, a real sadhaka is growing, and the final summit he is reaching is Atmanishtata. So that is Atma Samsthiti. That is Atma Samsthiti. Atma Samsthiti is being in the self. Now here in this sukta, it is said Hrit Pradishtham. Well established within the Hrit. Hrit is heart. That is the real nature of the self. The self is well established within. So when that knowledge is there, within a sadhaka, he will not wander here and there. He will not wander here and there in search of the self. In quest of the self, he will not wander here and there. He will dive deep into his own individuality and transcending the physical and subtle planes. He will reach the self, and that reaching is the Atma Samsthiti. So realizing Atman as Hrit Pradishtham, let me repeat once more. Realizing the Atman as Hrit Pradishtham, one will become well established in the Atman. That is Atma Samsthiti. He will reach to that position of Atma Samsthiti. And that Atma Samsthiti, it is Atmanishtata. Atmanishtata. Steadfast in that Atman itself. Well established within the self itself. He is not wavering. No vacillation is there. Well established within the self. That is Atmanishtata. So to have that, we have to have this knowledge. Hrit Pradishtham. So Hrit Pradishtham is the fact. It is the reality. And knowing that, one will reach Atmanishtata. Namaste.
Next question is from Nirmala ji. You are muted, Nirmala ji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Swamiji, in our daily life, we try to have Shivasaṅkalpam, that is our intention always. But often negative thoughts, sometimes very negative thoughts come up. How can we make these distractions or thoughts less, or how can we practically stop them?
Don't try to stop negative thoughts with it. Never do that. When we are trying to stop the negative thoughts, they will get more and more attention and they will become more powerful. There is no doubt in that. So we have to think positively, of course realistically, and fill the mind with auspicious thoughts. Because of samskara, of course, many negative thoughts will come. Nothing wrong in that. There is nothing wrong. Because after all, we are human beings. The human birth is happening when both these punya and papa are there. Punyena punyam, papena papam, ubhabhyam eva manushya lokam. So says the Shruti. Punyena punyam, papena papam, ubhabhyam eva manushya lokam. That means when both these aspects are there, both these aspects means punya and papa are there, we are getting manushya lokam. So there is nothing wrong in that. Let negative thoughts come. Whatever comes, they will go. There is no doubt in that. But when they are there within, they will make so many problems. There is nothing wrong. Let it do. They will leave. They will not live forever. They will leave. So when we are trying to discard them, when we are trying to stop them, they are getting attention, and then when they get attention, they will grow with it. So leave them. Leave them alone. Chant mantras. Do our works. Chant other namas. And whatever auspicious things we are doing, do that. and always do that vichara within. I am not these negative thoughts, nor am I the positive thoughts. I am above both. So naturally, in course of time, the effects of this negative will go down. There is no doubt in that. So being a witness of both, try to be a witness of both. See, as long as we are having this body, all the sattva, rajas and tamas will be there. We cannot live in this world without rajas and tamas. Many people think, I want sattva-guna alone. No, you cannot live. To live in this world, we must have sattva, rajas and tamas. All these are friends. So they will do, their activities will be there. Let them do. Let them do. So we are above these three. So try to be a witness of this. For example, if because of our own rajoguna, anger comes. Anger comes because of our rajoguna. Let it come. What is wrong in that? A stone will not have anger. A stone will not have anger. Living beings will have. But don't let that anger to win over us. So be a witness of that. Sometimes kama, lust will come. Let it come. We are not stones. Let it come. It will go. And all sorts of negative thoughts will come as the effect of the tamoguna within us. Let them come. They will go. Don't care them. Leave them alone. When you are trying to stop them, you are trying to discard them, you are carrying them. When we are caring, they will grow. It is quite natural. So leave them alone. And our focus must be on the practices we are doing. That is the way. Namaste.
Swamiji, my question is on a Facebook post I saw about a Avaduda who lived in Calicut. That Facebook, I don't know the authenticity, but it says that you used to visit him, and his name was mentioned as Achar Swami. Okay, so do you know that Mahatma, and can you please elaborate?
Yeah. Near Koilandi, there is a place Changottagavu. So just on the side of a railway track, there he lived, on the veranda of an old shop building. He lived. He was living there for more than 3 decades. He lived. And who he is, who he was, he only knows. Nobody knew. In the beginning days, many people were against him. Many tried to send him back. But the owner of that building, he allowed. He said, after all, he is a madman. Let him sit there. What is wrong in that? So he sat there. He was sitting there continuously. But slowly and slowly, people started coming, visiting him. And many people considered him as an Avadhuta. Many people considered him as a madman. But he was above all these considerations. I had gone there 3, 4, 5 times. And all the times, I have seen that lustrous face, that beaming eyes. And he was seen as somebody above all the dualities of this world. So, I am considering him as a great Avadhuta. I am considering. This may be wrong, this may be right. But my consideration is, he was a great Avadhuta. Because that was his attitude. His eyes were beaming. His face was having that effulgence. See, without bath, without cleaning his body, he was sitting there for years and years. In one pose, he was sitting. And many people used to offer him food items. Some would give him fish. Some would take meat, some vegetarian food. So he will touch this and that. And once he took these achar, pickles, and thenceforth many people brought pickles to him. So there were thousands of bottles of pickles around him. That is why he was called Achar Swami. He didn't say, I am Achar Swami. People called him. He was above this. And once one young man, he bought a new motorcycle. And this young man used to come there and sit with that Swami, that Mahatma. So this man has an inner prayer. Can I call this Mahatma just to sit on my motorcycle? But he was afraid of asking him. But when he returned, this Mahatma also walked with him. And he sat on the back of that motorcycle and asked him to ride. And this man, he started, and some 15 or 20 kilometers he drove, and this Mahatma asked him to go back. Then we reached the first place, then again to go back. So 8 or 10 times he drove to and fro. So that was the end of that play. Like that, once this Mahatma went to another place. It is near Modadi. And there were some great developed souls who were considering themselves as the saviors of the society. So they thought, this mad man with matted hair, without taking bath, so we must make him pure and clean. So they took some scissors and they started cutting his matted hair with soap and some warm water. They bathed. But in turn, what happened, all the three became mad. This happened. This is not a story. So many stories are there. He was there for 30 years. And 5 or 6 times I have visited. Once I visited him with a senior Swamiji, Swami Sadananda Saraswatiji, and even now I am remembering how this Mahatma smiled. Usually he won't smile. One same face, always. No smiling, no crying, nothing. But when Sadananda Swamiji and myself went, Sadananda Swamiji took some apples with him to offer. And this Mahatma smiled. Even now I am remembering how he smiled. That much light was there. Like an innocent child. And once I went with a mother who was suffering with a cancer in her throat. And she was going to Mangalore for her treatment. So on the way, we went there. And this Mahatma, with pointed, focused eyes, he was looking to the throat of this mother. Without any word. We didn't talk anything. He didn't ask anything. But however, this mother is cured. And even now she is living with full health. 100% that cancer has gone. Of course, she did that treatment. Some radiations and some chemotherapy were done. But it was before 15 or 20 years. Even now she is very healthy. She is living in Calicut. So many experiences are there. How these are happening, I don't know, but I am considering him as an Avadhuta. But it was not in Calicut. It is near Koilandi. It is Changotagavu. But he has entered Mahasamadhi some 5 or 6 years back. Namaste. Namaste. Now we can conclude today.
Thank you.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma viddvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.